Initial filtering is the first part of your hiring process that you need to work on and design. This is an extremely important aspect of the hiring process that many of us tend to disregard. The goal of your initial filtering process is to make sure that you're not overwhelmed with potential candidates that have no chance of getting the job. This process needs to be effective, efficient, and quick. An initial filtering process that is well designed should include the following elements. First, a clear and well-written job description. Second, a short email exchange with potential candidates. And third, a short introduction phone interview. The idea is to use a funnel of different filtering mechanisms that become more and more restrictive as you go through the hiring process. Therefore, there is a direct correlation between the amount of time and energy that you spend on any specific candidate and how far in the filtering process they are. Job description. I read many job descriptions that sound more like a mismatch of every possible verb and adjective that might relate to a position. They are unrealistic and they sometimes even self-contradict. Don't reuse an old job posting, change a few words, and use it for basically all of your job descriptions. Take a moment to think about who are you truly looking to hire. Be clear, honest, and relevant to what the job entails in real life, not in wishful thinking. A well-written job description will help candidates self-filter so that by the time they send you their resume, they are not wasting your time. Of course, you're always going to get absolutely ridiculous people applying, but a good job description will improve the quality of the ones that you might consider. In reality, only you know what is it that you're looking for. More importantly, you know what you're not willing to accept. If, for example, you end up tossing away every resume where the candidate does not have a degree in computer science, then clearly state on the job description that a computer science degree is a must. If you have no budget to relocate people, then make sure to say this is for local people only. You get the idea. The more specific and realistic you are, the higher quality of resumes you'll receive. The next step is a short email exchange with potential candidates. Once you went through the stack of resumes you've received and you filtered them out, it's time for you to send a short email to your potential candidates. Should you send a rejection email to every resume you've declined? If you have an automated way to do it, great, go for it. However, candidates understand and expect that they are not going to receive a rejection email for every resume they send. Therefore, if the sheer amount of resumes you receive and your limited resources don't allow you to personally send a rejection email to every resume, that is fine. The lucky few that did pass your initial resume sorting process should receive a short email asking them a few basic yes/no questions regarding the position. Those questions need to be designed such that any no answer means that the candidate will not move forward in the process. The idea here is to clear up any legal, financial, or other limitation you have that no matter how amazing a person is, you're not going to be able to hire them. A good few examples are, can you work in the US legally without being sponsored? Do you live within 30 miles of our office? Can you start working by a specific date? Any one of those questions, if the candidate answers no, then you're not going to be able to hire them if that is indeed a limitation. The reason you want to ask these questions in an email, even if you've already stated them on your job description, is that first, not everybody fully reads the job description, or they simply decide to give it a try regardless. Second, you want to have a written commitment from people, not only for the legal reasons, but mainly because once you ask people to answer these questions in writing, they have to face the truth. I want to talk about asking about money. Money is not the most important aspect of job hunting, but it sure is significant. Many companies ask candidates about their salary expectations, and I find that to be silly. You're putting the candidate in a very strange position where they need to let you know how much money they want without really knowing anything about the job or the company. I think a much better way is for you to state the lower upper range of what you're willing to pay for a position. Since you know your budget, you know how much you can pay, you know how much you're already paying, what is it that you want to hide? Simply ask. The position pays between $80,000 to $100,000 a year based on your experience and the interview process. It will include health benefits and a matching 401k. Is this acceptable to you? Yes, no. The next step is a short introduction phone interview. Now, by short, I mean it has to be roughly 30 minutes. And the goal of this phone interview is for you to tell the candidate about the company, the position, and most importantly, the hiring process. It's an opportunity for you to let the candidate ask questions and allow you to clear up any questions you might have about their resume. I never understand organizations that have a phone interview with you where they ask you to read your resume to them. I think that the whole purpose of somebody sending you a resume, in my humble opinion, is that you won't ask them about it in the phone interview, but rather you read it before you talk to them. I've interviewed in my career hundreds of people. I almost never ask people about their resume, unless there's something in it that's not clear to me. I expect myself to do the necessary research before I talk to someone. So by the time that I have a phone interview with them, I already know that I'm interested in meeting them. Now, when you're describing the company and the position, be honest and realistic. Provide candidates with the type of information that they need to help them better understand who you are and what the job will entail. Information that will set the correct expectations and prevent unnecessary misunderstandings later on. In regards to the hiring process, chart for the candidates what will happen next, how long it takes on average, and you want to make a commitment to keep them informed from this point on for any changes. My view is that once you have spoken with someone, you always owe them a response. At this point, you can't just simply disappear without letting them know where they stand. Next, you move into in-depth interviews, which include technical interviews, social interviews, and on-site visits. I'll cover all of this and a lot more in the next video about hiring processes best practices.